here. We'll go ahead and start. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. But aloha, everybody. We're going to be putting this up on YouTube. So if you would like to say hello to YouTube, feel free to do so. Everybody in chat as well. This is going to be our 4th week of the podcast. Just a little bit of secretary thing or announcements. Next week, I will be gone on a short trip. I have a 4-day trip to Japan next week, so we will be skipping next week for the podcast, unfortunately. But the week after that, we're going to be coming back and having the podcast again. So if you guys are watching the videos, of course, I've been looking at all the comments from the previous podcast. Looks like you guys really enjoyed these, so we'll continue to do them and continue putting your feedback or your general comments into the comment section below. Yeah, I usually check those out. But as you can see, today we have Faintmem, Thompsin, and TopaV from the other weeks of podcasts that you may or may not be familiar with. And today we have a special guest who, ironically, is in the middle because I can't really control it yet. I don't really know how to do it. But Berk's in the middle today. Yeah, so I guess if you want to do a quick intro for yourself, Berk, feel free to do so. Yeah, maybe tell everybody a little bit more about yourself, how you relate to Summoners War, anything you want to say. Go ahead.
What's good? I'm BerkBerk, no longer Berkelek. I technically rebranded.
Oh, you're BerkBerk. All right, I can change that for you. Keep going.
I'm with Topa up in wait, which one am I pointing? Up in EFA. I can't tell if I'm pointing the right way. Wherever Topa is. But yeah, and if I'm on this podcast, you know Island was desperate.
What? No, I actually have a big list of people to put in the podcast. I want to get a lot of people in here. Familiar faces, people that or influencers and people that are known, I guess you could say, and some that are not known. So I have a super long list of people. So I've just been contacting people, and it's all about availability. And it just happened you guys were available. I think actually as well, Sean was potentially gonna join in as well as some other people, but just gotta pick and take people to join in. Get a different mishmash. Try to get at least one new person a week. Yeah. So yeah, you were the new person of the week. Flavor of the week.
In the middle.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into this. Our first topic of the day here. So our first topic here we have today is how to deal with various RTA combos. Now I gave 2 examples in this topic here of cleaving and Ganihut Thor. So what are ways you guys deal with this, and what are ways that people out there that do RTA or looking to do RTA, how can they deal with it? Yeah, maybe some of the Nat 5 options and some of the more free-to-play options to deal with these. Yeah, can throw it on the board. We're not going to start in any order. Anybody that wants to comment, feel free to comment anytime. It's working out pretty good.
I think for both the cleave teams and the CC teams, the easiest way is to outspeed them. But then you'll get to a point where you can't outspeed the better player, because there's always going to be a faster player and a better player. So there are a few monsters that are really good against like cleave or against CC. And I think everybody already knows against Gani Hathor, like Rakuni Juno is pretty useful. Against cleave, actually there's just like a group of monsters that's really good. Vanessa, Triana, Diana, they're just like MVPs against cleaves in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The easiest way obviously is to outspeed, especially for cleaves, right? Because cleaves aren't usually that tanky. As long as you can go first, you can probably kill them relatively easily. So it's the easiest way. Something other, if you can't outspeed or don't have like speed leads or just otherwise not confident in your speed, something that you can probably do is look to out tank or then cut some RNG units, the Fire Lich or Amduet that can cut and potentially get you a Disperse Stun to mess up that combo. When it comes to Gani Hathor, obviously the anti-CC options such as Fire Monkey are good ways to go. Maybe Josephine too, as long as they don't have too much CC.
Adding on to the Gani Hathor, if they don't have many other multi-hitters, you could also bring in Garo. Garo, everyone has a Garo, and
most people, but yeah, that's definitely a little bit more free to play.
I'm sorry. Most
Gato and Rakuni, right? Those are very good options in there.
One thing I noticed about Garo versus Gani Hathor is the Garo has to be pretty decently ruined, and on Revenge it still gets controlled. It needs to really be on Nemesis to not die that often.
That's a fair point.
I see.
Really, if your runes aren't fast enough against Gani Hathors, no matter what you bring, ideally you're gonna get control no matter what. Even if you have Rakuni Juno, it's not gonna help. You need to have at least have 2 units that match their speed.
What do you think about so if you're getting outspeed, right? What do you think about double shield will bringing that in, or having double immunity and bringing it in? Because now Gandhi doesn't strip, right? Only Hathor is going to be able to strip. So can they still control you as well?
But nobody runs like control as a pure control anymore, right? They have either like immunity mixed in. Usually, right now the meta is like Fran or maybe a Wusa, or like they have some kind of revive, something that protects the Gandhi Hathor. So like your immunity is gonna run out, or like like they allow the Gandhi Hathor to did not as much pressure to lock you down first turn, but rather like turn 2, turn 3 when you have that gap of immunity, and then they wait for that.
So out of Gani Hathor comps, when they see it picked, obviously these are some options that we just stated that they can use against Gani Hathor. What about just straight up banning Hathor or banning Gani? Which one is better? Is it really more situational? Which one is always like maybe the better one to ban?
I do feel like right now, because Hathor, not really a big nerf, but I feel like right now banning Gani is a little bit better than banning Hathor, because Gani is just such a combo enabler that they could go like many different routes. Like if you don't ban the Gani and they pick like Perna Triana, it's like, whoa, it's a pretty good ban usually when you ban the Gani.
Okay.
Usually with Gani Hathor, they bring some sort of other control too, right? So even if you ban the Hathor, they still have the Gani, the other CC unit combo, say for Jean, for example, for Jean. And this is why I think I agree with the Gani ban, because even if you're controlled, you can bind a proc out of that, right? And then you still have your skills. If you ban the one or either the Hathor or say the Jean, then even if you bind a proc out, you're not going to have any cooldowns, so you're not going to be able to do a whole lot, even with that additional turn.
It really depends on what kind of team you're bringing against it. If you're bringing like cleanses like Juno Rakuni, then you ban the Gani. If you're bringing immunity to try to counter that, then banning Hathor is better.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What are the combos you guys think are common? I mean, I was just thinking of combos like Cleave and Gani Hathor, but what's really relevant right now that you think players in a wide range of ranks might face?
Double immunity.
Vanessa, Fran plus Vern.
What do you have to say, Berk? You don't have to raise your hand. I love
the bomb team. There is the bomb team.
Oh yeah, your bomb team, right? You like to bomb, right?
Now, speaking of cleave combos, there is one specific combo, the bomb team. That's probably the one area I know best. And if you're trying to counter those, the best way, like Thompson said, is to outspeed them. If you can't do that, you need to bring 2 hard counters. Assuming they're gonna ban one, you bring 2 hard counters like Vero, Rakuni, Tetra. Tetra is now a hard counter. Things like that, and Juno. And if that doesn't work, or if you can't do that, let's say you don't have those hard counters available to you, then your next best option is to bring a bunch of soft counters, like things like Perna and Laika that won't go down in one shot. Or things like Vanessa Triana that'll make things really annoying for any cleave team.
Or you can bring the Fire Pixie and throw all the bombs back.
I think
Fire Pixie.
I think this season your team's even stronger because like Triton is pretty.
Oh yeah, you like to use Triton, yeah.
Yeah, Triton got his silence extended an extra turn, but on the flip side, Tetra is out there. It's just another hard counter, and I think we're reaching a critical mass of hard counters where everyone's going to have a couple, and it's going to be harder to cleave. I'm even with the try and buff. I think it's going to be harder than ever to cleave this season, just due to all the counters that are out there.
So have you done a lot of wings yet, or have you been doing some wings, like a couple hundred wings?
Yeah.
How's it been so far? I mean, it's still early, but how's it been? You've been having to pull out the second comp, or you just getting cucked with your
I've been pulling out the second comp more often this season. There's too many counters out there.
Okay.
I think if you want to build a cleave team, if you want to build a cleave team, it'll have to have double speed lead for sure. And then whatever team has to work around the double speed lead you have. At least one, but usually 2 speed leads is the way to go.
Yeah, that'd definitely be ideal.
And like this, I feel like this season there's just a lot of protection, a lot of immunity. So like your cleave team will have to figure out how to deal with double immunity. Some people bring like Zayros just to cool down. Some people bring like double stripper, but like there's has to be a way you have to deal with immunity. Yeah, so if you have like a cleave team that have like double stripper, double speed lead, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, which is kind of tough, right? If you're getting to the higher levels, two of the best things that you want to strip and cleave with is like Triton and Tiana. But let's be real, not everybody has Triton and Tiana, right?
You just have to pull a Gianna.
Yeah, I heard that's a really strong unit. What do you have to say about that, Thompson?
Again, Triana's not the problem. The violent procs are the problem.
Gianna,
I mean, Gianna's not the problem. Violent procs are the problem.
Oh, okay. Deflecting to violent procs. Got it.
It is. Like Diana,
No,
Helena,
I'm just going. Okay, interesting.
like Diana, Helena, and stuff like that, right? Ager, right? Ager is not the problem. It's that he could give himself attack bar, violent proc, and get
Yeah,
it.
that crucial violent proc is so beneficial for him. That's the thing. Like, violent procs can be good, but like on Diana and Helena, they can be very impactful at the right time. Same thing for Ager. It's one of those units that can utilize that one proc that's just devastating. You can't even come back
That's
from
why
it.
that like Young Hong nerf was such a big nerf, because it's like she makes your turn get like about like 36% less violent proc, right? Because her cooldown is longer. And that's why the Fire Vampire is good right now, right? Because he gets like everybody extra turns.
Topa, so you speaking of Yunhong, how's your Yunhong been feeling this season? Yeah.
I still pick her every match.
Yeah.
But that may change. I don't know. I've been still, I'm still using the same team as last season. I'm resistant to change, but I think I'm gonna have to switch something up on fear removal.
Well, maybe like what Thompson is saying with Verd, right? Helping with the turn cycling of your Yunhong, it won't feel as bad, I guess you can say, right? You can turn cycle a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I mean, what I've been saying for Yanhong, before the nerf, you didn't need a violent proc on Yanhong. Now you kind of need a violent proc on Yanhong to make up for that one longer cooldown, to keep those skills, and keep those turns going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the thing is, even though Yen Hong got nerfed, a lot of other units got nerfed too. So even though, like, let's say in an average RTA match, you might have a couple units that are weaker than last season. Your opponent will too, so it kind of balances out, right?
But they banned Young Hong and Young Hong's best friend.
Who's
Best
that?
friends, right? Like the Gani and Molong. Like Gani
Yeah.
and Young Hong used to be like, it could 2v4. And Gani, Molong and Young Hong, or Gani and Young Hong could 2v4. Have you
But-
done that before, Topa?
Probably.
Yeah, right?
Probably.
Toxic.
Tova didn't get the Mola until it got nerfed.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, Topa.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, even though they're kind of nerfed, I mean, there's other units that synergize still really well with them. Like, Jean's been really heavy right now. Do you use Jean, Topa? I'm sure you
Yeah,
do.
I
right?
do.
Yeah, it
I
still
think I'm
functions
gonna
very
scrap
well
my,
with Molong, in my opinion.
Sean fell off really hard this season.
Yeah, because
Really?
Vertical is in the meta. So
Yeah.
I'm
Vertical
a
is such a
huge
hard combo.
John fan. I just want to let everyone know that.
Yeah,
I love
but
Jean.
I feel like I guess it fell off. But do you think all the ranks have been all the ranks are countering? I know maybe in the ranks you guys are playing in Guardian, right? You're seeing people counter Jean more, so people aren't using it. But in the other ranks, I think Jean can be still very, very strong for majority of players to use, because people don't know to use Verd. Yeah, unless they watch this and maybe now build Verd to fight those Jean Thompson Conqueror
As-
fighter.
As someone in the lower ranks, yes,
Well,
John
okay,
is all
even
over
lower
the
ranks
place
then.
in the lower ranks.
But the thing is, like, people from the lower ranks, like, they usually just watch like the higher ranks play, right? And then they'll see what they're doing, and they just
Right.
try to copy it with worse runes.
Right.
That's usually what happens, anyways.
Right,
see.
right.
Okay.
Although I find in the lower ranks, people might not have as many units built.
But
So-
Vert is free to play.
Yeah, you can see
super
that
free to
too.
play now. They gave it out and then they put it a part of the fusion. Let's be real. That's great.
They had an event where they gave a yeah. Never seen that
Fair
happen
point.
before.
That was a crazy succession of events. Yeah, what they gave out and stuff. Right. Any last combinations that maybe we didn't talk about that is that can help players out? Common combos that they have to deal with and how to deal with them before we move on.
I think a pretty common combo right now is like Vanessa, Fran, with like Hathor. Vanessa, Fran, Hathor. So like if you're building a team, like you just got to make sure you got a good you're ready for that. Like a Vanessa, Hathor, Fran, and all the Frans are super fast. Like they're like at least 275 plus. They're either on Swift or Violent.
Yeah, I've been seeing so many Frans, man. Yeah, I mean, like, what do you do against that specific unit then? Like, cause every time I see a Fran, like, I'm scared of the immunity. I'm scared of the sustain. Of course, that's skill 1. But it's like, it also feels good because I'm like, oh man, that little fairy is like so squishy, you know what I mean? Like, because you know it's squishy. Like, no matter how good your runes, it's gonna be kind of squishy.
You're wrong about being
Really?
squishy.
The defense is so low though, man, compared to any other kind of support there, you know? So it's a little bit. It's one of the
I
squishier
agree
ones.
with IslandGrown, but like what Faintmem is saying is like I have my friend on a defense slot 4, but it's still I know what you're saying. It's still squishy, but like the base defense is pretty low. Yeah, you're both right. You know.
Yeah, because like you said, people try to build it fast.
My friend almost has 1300 defense. I think it's not squishy.
How much HP do you have? You're not 30k HP then, right? You're like
Yeah,
20K.
30k.
30k HP. You're not
Yeah.
fast then, right? How fast?
300 speed.
Okay, never mind. This is okay. This is a rare outlier. This is a rare outlier. Okay, all right. So now you know if you play against Faintmem, just take the friend. Then you don't have to deal with it, and you have an OP unit. Easy counter pick.
There is no shame in banning Fran. Nanthony's gonna be OP. No shame.
I first pick my friend almost every match.
Oh my god, dude, that is
You're
crazy.
first picking nat 3s now.
Dude, I can't imagine that set that you put on Fran, but on a different like support unit. Oh my god.
But right now,
just to add.
Right now,
It's
just
not a
recommend
remote
everyone
set.
like build a Fran only because like everyone use Wusa and everyone loves Wusa, but
Right.
like to be honest, like Fran is like Wusa 2.0, you know, like her heals more, her first move is more consistent, and her third move just gives you attack bar as well. So yeah, Fran is like it's awesome if you guys have a chance. Like
Attack
gotta
buff
build
is
a
so
Fran.
good as well. I mean, even in comps, if you land a defense break, right, and you got support units with attack buff, you're already gonna do a lot of damage, you know. And with that defense break, you can kill like anything, man. Yeah, any kind of.
And the cool
unit.
part is her rune quality, like even though like you know like you think like 300 speed is crazy, but like you put her on swift, speed, defense, HP, it's not that hard to get, you know, that those stats, you know. It could be 290, 295, it doesn't, you know, but yeah, like she could be on swift, she could be on violent. Yeah. I prefer in my opinion, I feel like if you're gonna pair Fran up with like monsters like Ager or Perna, I like her more on violent, so she could like have the attack buff more often. I don't know what, probably Faint probably uses Fran more than I do, but
What were you gonna add on Faint? You were gonna say something?
Oh, well, yeah, but if it's on Violent, it has to be on Will, right? Because you're not gonna get enough speed,
absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
right? But if you're on Swift, you can put it on a Revenge offset.
I see.
Everybody's gonna target it first. Like people are gonna hit you with Dianas, they're gonna hit you with Verds, no.
That's
and then one of
stun,
the one
That
of
stun
these
procs
is
too
gonna
much.
proc a Revenge.
That stun
and
just
they're gonna
procs
get
too much,
stunned.
dude. It's just procs too much. What is the percent chance of that proc? I never even looked at the exact amount. What is the
I
stun
think
chance of skill?
it's like 50% times 3.
It doesn't feel. Oh, 50% times 3. That's why. Okay, that's why. I was like, it feels like it happens so often.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's just
Go
not
ahead,
the stun with Fran either. It's the attack break too. I mean, that also gives her a lot more survivability, right? Because you know her base defense, yeah, like we discussed, is not that high. So getting that attack break on units like Pernas or Diana's reduces the damage obviously by half. So it also gives her a lot more sustainability.
So good against Leica.
I'm really glad that they gave it like yourself. It could literally like a 3-hit. Yeah, can't it?
Well, you attack break Leica, it just does nothing.
Right.
It's so good against Garl because you can actually kill it. Right?
But yeah, it's nice that they gave Fran out again to everybody. You know, they didn't change. Did they change the skills on it? They did, right? Is that why it became more viable, or just people just started using it all of a sudden?
They buffed Fran at one
A
point.
little bit, right?
Yeah.
They added the immediate third skill, and I think the attack break the first skill.
Yeah, that's nice. They did that, and then they gave it out again. That's really cool. Hopefully they do it again so more players can obtain it. I think that's a really, really nice free-to-play limited unit that they kind of gave out to everybody.
Oh,
I
like
also think it's like also a lack of burst damage monsters in the meta right now that makes Fran more strong, you know. But yeah, I'm saying like everyone's gonna bring immunity. If you have like double stripper or like if you have like strippers, you're looking okay, you know. So just get your strippers ruined up.
I mean, Fran is also really good in Siege, right? So if they do give it out again, like a lot of people were talking, like they would farm like probably 10 or 15 of them.
Oh, and just use it for siege.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something
Like-
we could suggest. Maybe it should. They made it limited, right? So they let people obtain it, but they maybe should release it again, but maybe as a reward in the shop, as one of those guild piece monster rewards, like you know cowgirls and something, that so people can obtain it I think it's a really nice unit for everybody. That's why. So that could be a nice suggestion that they put it into that guild shop. I don't know if people would actually purchase it to have multiple, but they would purchase it just to have one. That'd be kind of nice.
I'm guilty. I've never won a 4-star siege battle before, until yeah, it's just like the most difficult thing in my life. But
What?
but I want to say something. Oh my God, twins is so good in siege.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sabrina,
God. Ever since I built
Sabrina,
twins,
Shayna, and Triana. That beats like so many comps, dude. You just keep making
So
that
good.
comp. So good.
yes, the twins. If you want to do siege well, just build as many twins as possible. I feel like
Yep.
We gotta pull them first.
they're on stones, bro.
Oh yeah, they're in stone rotations, which is really nice.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good first topic there. We're gonna go ahead and close out that topic and open up the next one here. Let's take a look at topic number 2. Topic number 2. All right, a little bit more of a segue. I think a lot of people wanted to hear our opinions and have us talk a little bit more about things maybe not pertaining to RTA. So this next question here is, how do you feel about the current state of Guild Wars, Siege, Labyrinth, and what can be done to improve them? Yeah.
So for Labyrinth, my life was really horrible when Labyrinth was like every day. You know what I mean? But like now it's like once, 5 times a week or something. Like I'm good with it right now. But yeah, the changes for the Labyrinth was really good. And then Guild War and Siege was they're looking pretty good. Except Siege, sometimes like you could still get like 2v1. And I think in a game with like 3 like freelancers, you're gonna get 2v1 like it or not. So yeah.
Yeah. I think we asked about that one time. We asked them like, why, what are your thoughts to the Comptos developers? Like what are your thoughts on like Siege and teaming up and stuff? And their answer was pretty interesting. They said that in a war, right, in a guild war and stuff like that, gang ups and stuff can happen, right? That's how you make your alliances in the wars. That's why there's a chat to discuss, right? And you kind of either make alliances or whatnot. It's kind of a part of the battling, feel. I don't know what your opinions are on that, but I thought it was interesting. It sucks to get teamed on, but it also could be fun, making allies and teaming up on other people. I don't know.
I mean, it's a 3-way battle. It's not meant to be fair by design. It's meant to have politics in it by design. I feel that it was completely intentional, and there's no way to remove it in a 3-way battle. If for a fair one-on-one, there's regular guild wars. I know it has its own flaws, but I guess we just have to look at Siege and keep in mind, politics are very much part of the game.
Yeah, be interesting. I feel like Guild Wars has kind of like fallen off, unless you're like early mid game and you're just getting into it. I feel like it has fallen off. What do you think? What if they did like a Siege, but for 1v1s, and that's the new Guild Wars? Yeah, where it's more active like that when it's 1v1. I wonder how that would pan out.
I mean, yeah, that would be cool, but then what's the point of Siege?
Right. That's true. Then it's nothing different, right?
I mean, if they're gonna release any other Guild War content, make sure people can't farm it.
Yeah, that has been an issue that is ongoing. That's the next thing I want to kind of talk about is Guild Siege farmers, right? It's something nobody wants to talk about because some people do it here, some people don't, right? Yeah, and from experience, right? Not saying that anybody here does that, obviously, but
I farm it.
all right, because I know you farm it, Faintmem. I didn't want to call you out, but you gonna say it then. All right, now.
Well, everybody knows I started the whole siege farming thing, right? So
Okay,
it's not
so
something to hide.
with the siege farming, they've made adjustments in the past to try to counteract it with the the point system and stuff. How much were you able to get before in terms of Guild War points and crystals to how much can you get now on a monthly basis? What is the average? Just curious, just to give perspective to people out there to know about it.
Like, if you're really hardcore siege farming, you get 1,000 crystals a siege, right? And then probably about 600 stones a week, and then guild points. But that would require about 10 farmers in like 9 different guilds.
So you're talking like over 5,000 crystals a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is something that go ahead, keep on.
And that's 5,000 crystals a month and about 3,000 summoning stones a month.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it because they don't want Comptos to take it away. But actually, one thing that was asked when we went to Korea, a lot of people did ask this developer straight up. Yeah, I think Childish was also there. Sean was also there. A couple people were there when the question was asked about this. And, Comptos does address it. They know it's an issue. But they actually said that it was an easy fix. They're just deciding how they want to fix it. I forgot exactly what they said, but they gave. I might have had a couple beers, but they gave two ways to fix it. Yeah, and I forgot what exactly they were, but they addressed it and they said it's a very easy fix. They're just still deciding what they want to do to fix it. So I think it's gonna get fixed soon. Because it kind of sucks for players that, you know, are doing Guild Siege and stuff and they're getting farmed, right? Can you imagine people that get matched up with Faintmem? Right? They just like, screw this, man.
I mean, if they just put a cap on the contribution for each individual member, that'd be a quick fix.
But the reason I can't remember that now. Somebody suggested a cap, and what they said was because there's a cap, it doesn't make people want to go out of their way to excel and do the most that they can for the siege, right? So there you get that issue. Yeah, and I forgot what the second issue was. So hopefully they can figure that out soon. Yeah, so Faintmem doesn't have like 100,000 crystals or whatever it is he has.
Yeah, I use it all up. It's not enough.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter. I mean, I know you still spend in the game, so you're right. It's just a nice crystal buffer. I mean, 5,000 a month is kind of a lot, especially if like you're free to play and stuff. But if you're a whale or you're a dolphin, 5,000 a month, what's that, like $150 of pack, or I don't know, something around that line.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the siege farming is too, it's not really healthy for the game, right? To promote competition and like end game play. You know, obviously you want the higher level players in higher guilds instead of farming in siege. So that's why I really hope they do fix siege farming here soon.
Okay, there's one thing like I've always thought, like maybe Homunculus didn't patch siege farming for so long. It's because they want global players to catch up.
No, I don't think so, because then it would have to be more known about siege farming. Like, what percentage of the population of Summoners War do you think knows about siege farming? Let's be real. I mean, I don't think a high percentage of the population does know about siege farming at all.
I mean, a lot of global like players know.
Oh, the top players.
Like from what I know, like in Asia and other servers, they don't siege farm that much.
Yeah, I think global probably farms the most. I mean, you guys have the highest population, but percentage-wise, I think you guys do siege farm the most. Yeah.
I actually feel like Guild War, Labyrinth, and Siege are great, but then I cannot handle any more guild content. Like, just like stop it, man. Like, no more guild content for me, man. Like, it also creates the rift between like you and your guild too, because there are like guilds, and some people really love guild content because that's what they're good at, and some people don't really care about guild content. But it's really hard to be good at everything, you know? And some people just love arena or love guild, and yeah, it's tough. I don't think they should just throw out any more, like, I call it homework. More homework.
Yeah, it does feel like that. It's like homeworks and projects. But how can they revamp what they have then? So maybe your suggestion is, hey, Homunculus, don't make more stuff. You know, maybe make the stuff that already is existing better, or, you know, add on to it, is what you're saying.
I mean, Labyrinth once every once in a while is fun, but like Thompson said, this is pretty much the limit. You know, every time they add more content, whether it's Siege or Labyrinth, you know, some of the least active people in the guild get pushed out in order to bring in more active people, and sometimes the people that get pushed out of guilds end up being like long-time members who might be inactive for a little reason, or who might not have as much time to play and do all the guild modes, but they're still a part of the family. Or at the very least, maybe they could let us expand our rosters a little bit and give us like 5 extra spots, 10 extra spots for inactives or something. Maybe because like for Labyrinth, for example, every single person on the roster is Labyrinth eligible. That leaves no room for deadweight if you're trying to be efficient. And it's tough trying to balance that and do what's best for the guild with you know keeping a family together, keeping the team together.
I mean, that's really true, right? Because then you're gonna have players that really try hard, and if they really try hard, they're gonna feel like crap because or they're gonna feel like, what the hell, man? My guild's like not doing their job when I am, right? And you're gonna get some issues,
what me and Berk
right?
is saying is they could just take out Lab from the game. And
I agree.
just take it out.
I don't think that they'll do that, but maybe changes to it to make it a little bit more different, and maybe have it so it's like Guild Wars where they only let X amount of people go inside. I don't know, but there's gonna be pros and cons to that too, right?
Actually, not to toot my own horn, but I was the one like that complained like crazy about Labyrinth. I'm like, oh, it's homework this, it's homework that. I was like
homework.
marking the ears nonstop.
You guys
know,
had G3
and then
guilds.
finally they nerfed it. So yeah.
Right, in G3 guilds, you have to do like lab 2 days out of 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, because you guys clear it so fast.
Every day.
Yeah, because you guys are like it's good for like.
fast.
I mean, like in siege farming you get to do it every day, right? It's actually, I'll be honest, it pushes progression really fast. Probably in a week of Labyrinth, I've gotten 5 to 10 legend either runes or grinds or gems.
Not me.
That's you, man.
And you just have to do it every day, right? Once you have the auto teams down, it's really not that big of a chore.
That's actually true. I mean, who else is guilty? I mean, whether in chat or here right now in the podcast, of looking for the ones that defeat X amount of stages in a certain time frame. That's the only one I like to do in auto because it's the easiest one. You don't have to do anything. It's just auto. It's just AoE units. You know which ones I'm talking about. Which stage I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the only stages I do.
I think I could clear the wind guy or the water guy in 20 seconds in the lab, and it's still a chore for me. Yeah.
Okay.
And anyone ever do the Totor, the main boss? He sometimes I still wipe. I don't have a solid team.
Yeah, it's a little bit RNG involved. I feel when you battle.
If you're gonna auto it, you need to have a defense buffer. That's it. It's actually not that hard.
So so what you're saying is
What's your auto
Tyrannies is actually OP then. The defense buffing
Yeah,
reviver.
Tyrannies,
OP then,
wipe
auto.
My team is Wind Panda,
Okay.
Fran,
Okay.
Light Homunculus, Irunu, and there's one more.
Reviver? What's your reviver? No reviver?
The light epic
Iona.
Iona, yeah.
Light epic priest. Okay, interesting. So maybe that's a good option. Yeah, with the what skills do you use for the homunculus? Yeah, cause that could be something people work towards.
I use the same skills. Well, I use the homunculus for raid 2, right? So it kind of overlaps. There's a cleanse defense buff that balanced HP, which is good for the last stage of the boss too.
I see.
And then there's a heal on skill 2. Yeah.
I see. Okay. One more thing I wanted to add, just going back real quick with the siege farming thing. What do you have to leave multiple guilds to join different guilds to siege farm effectively to let the guild decay? I heard of that before, right?
Yeah, it's actually a lot of work.
So wouldn't one easy fix be make it so that the guild needs to be of certain rank to do guild siege? I don't know. In that case, it kind of the guild has to be a certain level, right? Isn't there guild level now in all the guilds?
I mean, that's not hard.
That's still
all the guilds the guilds that we're hopping around, they're all level 25.
Okay, never mind then. It's already GG.
Yeah, because they need to be G1 in Siege, otherwise it's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting topics there on Guild Wars, Siege, and Labyrinth. We'll go ahead and hop over to topic number 3.
Take it out of the game. Easy fix.
Should that be in the same patch note as the 27 hit Leica or a different patch note?
The game would be more fun for me if they took it out of the game, but yeah.
Yeah, just take everything out except for RTA, right?
Yeah.
Preach it, brother. Preach it.
Alrighty. Topic number 3 here. Interesting question that we set up here. What's your biggest mistake while progressing and playing Summoner's War? Okay, and aside from the downloading the game, ha ha ha. Okay. Any general tips for early and mid game players of what you've made mistakes on in the past?
All right. So my first mistake when I first started playing the game was I looked at all the tier lists online and I took them as religion, and they all said at the time that Chloe was the best unit in the game. So my first 6-star was Chloe. My first 5-1 farmer was Chloe. That was a very slow first couple of months. So my take on that is, even though you see all these end game players talking about, oh, these are the units that, they're OP, this is the tier list, take everything with a grain of salt. If you're early game, I mean, don't necessarily take all the tier lists blindly.
Use your brain too, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Use your own brain.
yeah.
Read the skills and see if it's good in your sense as well. I mean, I think to a certain extent, everybody that plays Summoners War 2, like I said, a certain extent, is a gamer, right? And you can strategize yourself. Take their opinions and strategize with yourself to see if it's actually going to be a good unit. I don't know. I think I might have made Chloe pretty early on as well. Yeah. Go ahead, Topa.
One thing that I definitely did at the beginning was waste my Devilmon that I regret now. I think that's a lot. That's the thing that a lot of people did. They Devilmon some of their 4-stars that we're using. Like I Devilmon my Vertihal, and back in the day, you obviously didn't really want Vertihal second skill maxed because it would only hit once. So yeah, it's definitely something that I did.
Yeah, I'm still hoping to push for a 4-star Devilmon. I really hope they release that
Yeah,
somewhere somehow. It would help out a lot of players.
Yeah, early game players, those Devilmon are scarce. Even if you have nothing to use them on, just put them in storage until you know what to do with them. Someday, your future self will thank you.
I mean, they have big projects actually early on because of, you know, if you're free to play and you just started, or even if you just started, your Devilmon count is going to be pretty low. And you're going to need to Devilmon Vero, right? Panda, right? Sigmaris, if you're going to use Sigmaris, and any of the other free-to-play Nat 5s that they give you all need Devilmon. It's a pretty heavy Devilmon load. Not saying you, I mean, not even counting the Nat 5s you obtain. So you will need a lot of those Devilmons.
Do you really need the Panda Devilmon though? Do you really need to make
no,
the
you
Panda?
you definitely don't have to make it Devilmon. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, if you have it there, right, and you have a Nat 5, you could potentially Devilmon it. I have
Because that
mine
Fire
Devilmon,
Panda is like PvE only, and
which is what most early mid games focus on, though. I actually use my Fire Panda a lot more than people did before in like Guild Wars. I think it was a great Guild Wars unit, especially when you don't have a lot of units out there, don't have a lot of Nat 5s. It does a lot. It's like a whole kit. It's like a budget.
It's made for like R4 too.
Yeah, R4, right.
I guess it depends on the situation. But yeah.
But I think it functions very well even without skill ups. So you're definitely right on that. What was your mistakes, Faintmem, Thompson?
I was using the water bear to farm scenarios for a whole week or so. Before I realized it was taking like 5 minutes to clear one stage.
You mean the one that revives with like defense buff?
Yeah, it revives. I'm like, oh my god, all the stages are so hard because you didn't have runes back there, right? I'm like, oh, but this unit's so good, it can solo farm every stage.
So, for me, it was the biggest advice I want to give players, and this is really important. So listen, hear me out. It's like this game rewards people that have patience. So like whatever it is, it's not worth it to speed things up. So like you don't want to buy like you don't want to spend money on the stuff that will help you speed things up. Also like so one of the biggest mistakes is people buy premium packs. Like when you're starting out, just try to farm and then shop refresh and farm and shop refresh, you know? Same with like buying like EXP boosters or magic essences. We're all guilty for buying it too. Even ruin packs. Look, like back then ruin packs had no legendary runes in there, right? You just have to be patient, not buy it, right? So you don't buy like, you know, dimensional crystals. Don't buy anything to help you speed up the process. Like take your time, play the game, and you'll actually get rewarded for it, you know? You'll get more light and dark Nat 5s than you ever did. And you'll progress further than like most people if you like if you're patient with the game.
Is that how you got all your light and dark Nat 5s? How many are you at right now? Just curious.
You shop refresh, right? Yeah, you shop refresh. You don't buy premium packs. There's
you buy
other
LD
ways.
packs instead.
Yeah, like Thompson's not saying don't spend money. He's saying if you do spend money, don't spend it on the things that only speed you up.
Exactly.
Things like dark packs.
Well, this is where I disagree.
You got to be patient.
Ooh,
Right?
first disagreement of the day. Finally, God damn. Okay, go ahead.
When you're starting off, and if you know you're not gonna be like free to play, I think spending on rune packs is really good. Like when you just
the ruin packs now are really good, but then like the game has a lot of
even back then, right? There was only one guaranteed legendary per month. And then when I started, I bought rune packs. Like I skipped Giant Speed 10 altogether and to farm dragons right away. I mean, like it was like 4 to 5 rune packs, and I could farm DB 10 like 2 minutes.
Well, like I'm saying, like the game will have a lot of temptations to make you pay to speed up faster, but you could use that type of currency for better results. Like, you know, magic essences, you know, just there's some stuff you could get that are very good, but just some stuff you just have to be patient with. It can't be seduced to spend money.
Yeah, but like that what 5 packs, $150 probably sped up my progression by a good 8 months, 10 months. I mean, I say it's worth it, right? If you're not gonna be free to play anyways.
What about you, Topa? What were some of the mistakes that you've made in the past?
Yeah, aside from like Devilmon in the units, right? It's I mean, I don't know. My early game was really slow. I mean, I was really young at the time too, you know, back in my day.
Back in my day.
Yeah, so I don't really know much about the game, to be honest. And I wish I watched more guides on YouTube or something. I think that's honestly pretty legit advice too. It's like, you know, go on Twitch, go on YouTube. I don't know about Reddit. I probably wouldn't go there, but.
Yeah, I would say
But yeah, go on
YouTube.
Twitch.
YouTube and Twitch are really good. Twitch especially because like you can hop into
Yeah.
like Topa stream. Berk, you streaming more often, or you just been sick a little bit lately, right?
Yeah, I've just been sick this past week.
Yeah, Thompsin or Faintmem streaming. The thing is that with those you can get help like right away, right? So that makes a lot of sense.
You know, I want to say Reddit isn't that bad if you know where to look. Like, yeah, there's some junk posts out there, but in between that, there's some gems. Sometimes people do some serious math. There's some gems on Reddit. You just got to be careful.
Well, most of that serious math is, well, to be honest, is quite useless. It's not. It's interesting, but it's useless.
For me, like one of my biggest mistakes, it's not going to be pertinent to a lot of people here though, is back in the day when, back in my day, when the game first started, I just wasn't playing the game enough to progress. I really should have progressed in DB10. Back then, everybody's using Fire Viking, right, to do DB10, and it was before NB10 came out. So the rune drop rates of specific runes were coming out of just DB10 and GB10 before they got split off to NB10, right? So I should have farmed more then to get those runes. You know what I'm saying? But back then it was all manual, so it was kind of lazy work. I mean, I guess some people could auto it, yeah, some of the OGs, but I had to manual it back then. That was the game, man. Triple Imp, GB10. I don't know when you guys started playing.
Well, from what Barian told me, like in the beginning, everybody was farming really slow. Anyways, it didn't really matter that much.
But at least he farmed it. You know what I mean? And they farmed it.
Yeah.
'Cause there was a certain gap where there was a big power gap because you didn't have runes, and a lot of people did for farming. Yep, Triple Imp back in the day, yep. And Dark Elemental was king. You had that? Oh my god, you had a great GB10 team. You guys, were you guys playing back then? You guys weren't playing that far back, were you?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, you could use a double Hua, like for a giant, because you would never crit. You would have 15 crit rate on your double Hua, your Rayak, your Verde, and then your Rayak and double Hua would just solo the boss, because it would never take a turn, and you would also never crit it, because you have 15 crit rate.
Yep. It's all about putting dots.
That was the only way to auto, I think.
Yeah, Orochi was good too. All right, cool. Interesting. Hopefully you guys can learn from those our mistakes, as well as like what Topa said. Please keep in mind YouTube advice is really good, and here on Twitch you get all your help live, right? You can ask exactly your question. Whereas sometimes when you watch YouTube videos, you get some help, but you can't ask them the question that you have that might be more specific to your account, right? So, all right, that was a very good topic there. We're going to move on to topic number 4. It's going to be a quick one. Yeah, it's just something that I've been thinking about but haven't figured it out yet. What's a good name for the podcast? Should there be a name, or should it just be the IslandGrown podcast? Yeah? People in chat definitely can give suggestions. You guys here?
Stuck on an island.
Stuck on an island. Stuck on an island. Did you watch the 4th episode of Stuck on the Island this week? Okay, I don't know. It's going to roll nicely off the tongue, right? Any suggestions, Thompson?
Island Cast.
Island Cast? Okay. Island Cast. The Island Podcast is so basic though, man. Yeah, if anything, I guess I just gotta leave it as IslandGrown Podcast. The Coconut Podcast. Whale Wars. Okay, you're trolling. Ohana Hour. No, that doesn't sound too good.
I like Castaway. That was a good one. Someone in chat said Castaway.
Castaway. The Cocoa Pod. All right, we'll keep taking these suggestions in. We're going to actually segue to the last topic here, which is what we've been doing a lot lately, which is allowing the chat to kind of come up with topics and questions. So whatever chat says that you guys think of is of interest or something that you want to answer, you can feel free to bring it up and put it onto the table here for the podcast. So ask away any questions or topics that you guys want discussed. Keep in mind, though, some of your topics I might skip or some people might skip because we've talked about them in the past podcasts already.
Okay. Can we talk about the Dark Lightning Emperor?
Yeah, sure. Whatever topics you want to talk about as well. Okay, let's start with that then, before we take a look at other people's. Go ahead.
It's a nerf.
Yeah, so explain the Dark Lightning Emperor so people know first, and then we get it just because not everybody knows Dark Lightning Emperor.
If you see him, ban him.
Yeah, if you see him, ban it. Basically, it makes whatever unit that Emperor target have 0 defense.
Is it a
And zero
passive?
attack.
It's a skill. It's a skill that makes it
It's
so
a
it's
skill.
0 defense, right?
Yeah, it's 0 defense.
And then what happens
Yeah.
to that defense? Where does it go?
It goes nowhere.
It just
Doesn't
makes
it?
it 0 defense.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, unless your defense is insanely higher than the Dark and Lightning Emperor, but because with 5 stacks, the Lightning Emperor strips all your buffs and then subtracts 120% of its defense.
People saying he steals it. He steals the defense. That's
Yeah,
what I
I
thought it
No,
did.
he doesn't
I thought
steal.
he
He doesn't
stole
steal it. He doesn't steal it. It's a misword.
Oh, it's a miswording.
Oh, okay.
Oh, faint smart, baby. Yeah, when you guys thought you guys got faint. So he doesn't steal it then, just miswording. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's super OP. Yeah, give me maybe a little bit more elaboration. Some of the people that might not feel it's super OP.
Basically, every other unit that attacks that unit is ignore defense.
How often does it have that skill up?
Every time it gets 5 stacks, right?
Oh, okay. So
Wait,
I,
guess-
There's no cooldown on the skill, and whenever you use it, you get an additional turn.
huh?
Does it gain knowledge the same way as Odin or
It gains
Berk?
same as Holden.
Okay.
But remember
Okay.
when it's max stats, it strips all the buffs. So it strips and steals, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So that means like when you use it, you instantly gain like 2 or 3 stacks depending on how many buffs the other person has.
And then you just kill the unit and you get the other
Yeah.
3, and you have
Yeah.
it back up again.
Yeah,
How do you counter that?
Ban it.
you ban it.
You could control it.
If Violent procs once, then you're done.
Wait, can't
for-
you A, control it like Thompson said, or B, just bring in units to just stay alive? Vanessa, Triana. So it's not that big. Because other than that, it doesn't do anything else then, right? So you
I
don't have
actually
to
feel like
focus
they
on it.
need a. I actually feel like before they nerf the dark one, they need to buff the light one.
Do you have the light one?
No, I think the light one's fine. You just
Light one is healing or something, yeah? Like at the
the
moment
light
of
one is
impact, it
70%
heals.
damage reduction.
Looks
Yeah.
pretty awful.
No, it's not damage reduction, right? I thought it's
No,
damage
it's
and then
damage
damage reduction. 70% for
Oh.
all units.
I thought
It's actually not
what
bad.
it did is like if it does 10k, it does 10k, and then if you're still alive, it heals you back for an amount.
Yeah. No, it reduces damage and then it heals.
Oh, it reduces damage and then heals a percentage of what's left. Okay, because I think
Yeah.
I tried messing around with one before. It felt quite underwhelming.
It's actually really good in this meta for RTA because there's a lot of damage heavy comps. So it's like if you're running control or if you're running like some other like wacko thing, whatever, it'll protect your units. It acts like a Triana kind of.
Okay, I saw a question here in the chat, and since we have Thompson here, people are asking something we never talked about, but I mean I'm sure people talked about it many times. What are your thoughts on Sekhmet? What's its viability? Why does it suck? Why is it called Sekhmet? Or why is it good? And where can it be used? Because as we know, Thompson used Sekhmet a lot, and he made it work.
Segment was Sexton's good when she's good, but horrible when she sucks. And if her skill's more consistent, she's great, but her skill's not consistent. Still, Segment's good against because her first move could attack down. She's great against everything that attack down's good against, like Perna, like Leica, and stuff like that. But other than that, like Sekhmet is not looking that well because she's not as consistent, and that inconsistency will make you lose a game.
So what if so some people were giving some suggestions. We talked about it in the past, right? There's a change for Sekhmet recently, and now as many buffs as she strips, she will reduce her cooldown. And people are saying that it's not enough because the skill is not consistent enough. What if they just took that away and just made the skill consistent? What if they just made it unresistible?
Irresistible.
Is that too powerful? That's too OP, right?
I mean, like
Maybe
the right way
don't
to
reset the
build her,
cooldown though.
You can have her on like no HP, no defense, high attack, crit damage, crit. It doesn't matter. The only way to build her, you have to have her on 85% accuracy at least. And like that's like if you have her on 85, you bring her in, just like pray to God she does what she does. You know. She was even stronger before. I like her previous. Like I was testing her out a lot when she was first when her cooldowns go down, all her cooldowns go down, and she was really good. Yeah, she counters all the Dianas really hard, all the Pernas really hard, but like they nerfed her, so her cooldowns now her second move don't get the cooldown anymore. Only her first move, only her third move.
So you're saying if they revert her, it would be a lot better then?
Oh yeah,
Level.
for sure.
Huh.
But that was a bug. That was not never.
That was a bug, yeah. That was a
Yeah.
bug.
But a bug could have been something that. It would
Yeah,
be
they could
decent.
just
like the
kept it in there.
the problem with segment is really like, I mean, the skill 3 is gonna land 85% of the time, right? The problem is when it misses. Segment doesn't have any other skill that like
does anything.
you know does
So
anything.
you have it on despair for stuns, right?
If say like segment had Hathor skill 2, it would still be useful.
Dude,
Even if you
Sekhmet's skill 2 is like so good though. And skill
No, but like you're bringing segment to strip off immunity, right? So then skill 2 is
Yeah.
a dead skill when you miss.
Yeah. I mean, look at Nephthys. She just got skill 2. That's it.
Boom. Okay, what if they change skill 2 of Sekhmet so that it has a % chance to strip like Molong? That also buffs Dark Desert Queen.
Like AoE.
AoE strip. Oh, but that buffs Bastet too, huh? Oh. No, but like it doesn't have to be a high chance, right? It's like, oh god, it's gonna be Molong all over again. But no stun, just a chance to strip.
Bastard's good enough though.
Yeah.
That Bastard is good enough.
Yeah, but that's good enough. But like to make Sekhmet and to make Nephthys better, that's something that they might look into.
Like
Bastet
right
needs
now,
it.
would you still use Bastet if like you have a Fran, you know? It's like Fran is so much better than Bastet if you have like the fast runes, you know what I mean?
What's the base speed for Fran? It's like
103.
Okay, so it's like what 4 speed faster than Bastet, something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's already a perk.
I mean, the attack buff or the attack bar is not bad for Bastet, but
Yeah, sure, buff
Yeah,
them
but-
all. Why not?
Yeah.
But like if everyone's well speed tuned, like the Fran's still better. You don't need the attack bar, you know, right?
2-turn attack buff versus 3 turns. Shield, no shield, but has heals. So there's pros and cons of both, I guess.
but the immunity is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this immunity is huge.
Yeah.
That's like one bad thing about Bastet. Like sometimes like you have the shield and attack buff, but you could still get CC'd and stuff, you know?
How
Yeah.
dumb is it to build Sekhmet with crit damage to a snipe Pernas? I don't think that's enough damage. For the majority of units, I don't think the multiplier is high enough, is it?
Her first move already counters Perna.
Yeah.
And also like the anti-heal counters Perna as well.
What's a good cleave team? So what do you guys think? What do most players should they do to get into RTA? It's just cleaving, right? Everybody should pretty much cleave as your first kind of teams to build for RTA because you have those units built already, like Bernard, Megan, whatever cleaving. What do you think was better?
I mean, if you're not trying
Like
to
I
push
said,
around,
I feel like the basic cleave team needs double speed lead, and that should be your foundation. Check out which speed lead you got.
Mm-hmm.
They should just 2 ATB boosters and a bunch of AoEs.
I see. All right, any other topics?
If you're cleaving and you don't have double strippers in there, you need to mix solution in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other topics that you guys have here? You guys wanted to talk about? Anything that's ever bugged your mind, or you wanted to throw on the table, see people's opinions? Anything controversial? Everybody's so friendly to each other. Can we get some like controversial topics on? Some debates.
All anyone have to say is nerf Gianna, and you know.
We've been saying it.
How about
You
nerf
can have a
Artemis?
conversation.
Nerf Artemis. You know, I did a FR for a friend, right? And he had an Artemiel.
Mhm.
Oh my god, that thing is so busted.
He's so easy to ruin too. Speaking of FRR, you know,
Who?
he's pretty easy to ruin.
Who's
Oh,
easy to-
Artemil.
Oh,
Easy to
Artemil.
ruin.
Mm.
Yeah.
What is your Artemil on? Is it? It's not crit damage, is it?
It has to be on crit damage.
Yours is on crit damage?
Don't have to, but
Oh, don't
it,
have to
mine's
be
on
on
crit damage, but it doesn't.
Just like
do
Diana
lot.
and Helena do not have to be on crit damage.
Yeah. I mean, like his defense goes up like as the game goes on too. So like yeah, the crit damage
but-
is like
okay.
huh?
When I did the free removal, I didn't ruin Artemiel as a standalone unit. It actually combos into his comp.
Okay,
So-
that means it's a pretty fast. It's a pretty fast Artemil. That's what Faint is trying to say.
No, it's actually slow. It sits under defense break. So there's like speed threats on top, right? And like you're either if you do get first turn, that means you're gonna get a defense break into Art of Nuke turn 1. Right.
All right, let me throw something. Let me throw something controversial here. All right.
How does Art of Nuke turn 1? His defense goes up as the game goes on.
Yeah, no, it doesn't go up. It just gets 5 stacks. But before it even gets 5 stacks, if you're on a crit damage build, it's gonna hit hard with a defense break regardless if you have stacks.
Okay, all right. I don't know how hard your Arta's hitting, but you can nuke with Arta turn 1. That's pretty crazy. I don't know this game anymore.
Fate. How you feel about that, man? You're wrong. Yeah, keep going. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to point out that just because Faintmem can do something with his runes doesn't mean that you can do the same thing.
It's not even his runes, brother.
They're not my runes.
Okay, so I was wondering, have you guys fought each other in RTA? And what do you guys think of each other in RTA? How easy is it to beat who, and or what do you think that the other person can improve? Because I'm sure you guys have matched up with one another.
So I want to put it out there. I do RTA and I love it, but for me it's just a game. I always try different comps and weird stuff. Like I bring Sekhmet to SWC. You know what's up. You know, I brought Valeria against BerkBerk. I just like to use what I like to use, you know, and I just have fun with it. But yeah.
No, nobody wants to say who they fought and who they think is easy and what they think the other person can do better if they beat them.
To pull these guys.
Huh?
When I lose, it's due to RNG. How about that?
All right.
It's either like lucky resists or lucky procs.
Yeah, that seems what it always comes down to. Yeah, when you're doing RTA, there's always that one match. It just feels like when you get RNG'd badly, it just continues to snowball. Anybody else feel like that? Like there's just some days where it's just like really bad, like match to match to match to match. And it's like crucial violence and resist that just happen to you. That just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel balanced.
You just gotta embrace it. Like Barry always says, embrace the RNG. You know, procs are part of the game. They go both ways. If someone procs the shit out of you, just laugh it off. You know, there's nothing you can really do. Just laugh it off.
Ah, didn't get the Phoenix skin this season. Ha ha ha! So funny.
I think when you approach, Summoner's War into, I think when you approach Summoner's War with like you're having fun and you're trying different stuff, it's more fun versus like if you're just using like, you know, Gani Hathor every round, then you're just grinding. You get really mad when like you get Violent procced on or whatever, right? But if you use like Gani Hathor, Perna, Wusa, you know, Fran every game, but if you like really like just like enjoy the game, try out new comps, you know, like Faint Memory, he made the Water Barbarian, and that's I think he had the most fun with, you know. Different people try different stuff, and I think that's how like the game could grow, you know. Not just watch Twitch and YouTube, but come up with like your own stuff, your own strategy, you know. I see like people start bringing in like really weird comps this season that I love. Like people are bringing in Tableau, Ludo.
That's 3 points.
I saw people brought in like Tableau and Ludo with Shina and Martina. I'm like, dude, like the type of technology and stuff is awesome, you know. Like, yeah, I think just have fun with it, you know, and just do what your ruin allows you to do.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just runes. Really, you just got to keep farming. What I did learn is if you're streaming and you have an advantage, and say if like an enemy unit can proc, but it's locked down. If it procs, it'll turn the match. If you say that out aloud, he'll proc 100%.
Wow, great tips.
Side?
You're winning, right? I'm like, oh, but if that Helena takes the proc right here, I lose. It's gonna proc 100%.
Always
that
happens.
that happened to me last time on my last wing. I was like, if this Molan procs here, he rexes my Yanhang and I lose the game, and then he procced. I was like, okay, well that's how we end our night.
Yeah, it's happened a few times to me as well. But it's more like you're not really trying to say it on purpose. You're kind of just calling out your what you're doing, you know, and you're just talking out loud what's going on in your mind, and it just always seems like it happens. Yeah.
It's happened so much that like in my chat there's a command that says streamer shut up.
And the silver lining is even though you lose, at least you look smart going down.
I mean, every unit has 22% chance to proc, you know, and most of the time, all 4 units on the other team has 22% each. So yeah, if you don't proc, you're kind of lucky, you know.
Gotta also factor in how many violent units you have compared to what they have that's in the match. And sometimes I don't think about that. I'm like, oh my god, how come he's getting so much more procs than me? I'm not getting any, right? But I look at my team, I'm like, okay, so I have units on Swift in there and Despair. I don't have that many units on Violence, so it's on me, right?
The worst part is when like the resist and accuracy, like procs are procs, but then the worst part is when the resist and accuracy, like imagine your Hathor sleeps everybody, but the Velajuel, you're like I thought I won already, you know. It's not even about the procs, it's just like it slept everybody but the Velajuel, and you're just like, oh my god, you know.
You just like, if it just slept just Velajuel and nobody else, this would have been way better than the situation right here.
Or like the stripper strips everybody but the Velajuel or the Annabelle, and you're like, whoa, like what? I just quit, you know, just quit. You win. You outspeed them. Your guys hit them like 8 times before you move, but you still lose. You know that happens. That happens.
Like oftentimes I see myself
than violent procs for me.
I see myself drafting, and I notice when I see my draft and I get into the match, I'm like, holy crap! The whole match is dictated by this Oki reset turn 1. Oh god. Every time, dude, I'm like, in the situation, I'm like, oh my god, if I miss this, I'm like pretty screwed, man. I will always miss it, dude. I will always
miss it.
That's also
another thing, like, sometimes people bring in units and expect not to get procced on, but you're gonna get procced on. Like, if you bring in Oki, he only stuns for 1 turn, right? Versus like Gani Hathor. I mean, like, Hathor or Jean, at least you're safe, you know? Or Sierra, like, if you put a bomb on a stun unit, they can't violent proc, you know?
Right.
So,
unless they resist the stun, that's the Velajuel there again.
Bad luck, but you know what I mean. The chances are so much lower.
Oh, I have a quick question. So I just thought about this right now. When you put a bomb on somebody, right? Obviously, you go over your accuracy check, right, for the resistance check. But when the bomb detonates, does it take into consideration the person that placed the bomb's accuracy to stun, or is it just based on the unit's resistance?
It's based on the bomb. Yeah.
So it's just based on that player's resistance, right? It's 100 accuracy, basically, it feels like. Or what? Oh, it's based on the person that placed the bomb. Sorry, you guys cut out when I said that.
Yeah, it's based on the person who placed the bomb.
I got you.
So if Sierra has 50 accuracy, then that bomb is 50 accuracy.
Okay.
That's why, low-key, like, Sierra needs a lot of accuracy.
Okay, fun fact. I just always thought about it, yeah. But, I know why my bombs don't stun people. Okay, got it. All right.
I mean, the other day I had a Dover match where, like, 4 bombs detonated in a row, and they all resisted stun.
Oh, I tell you.
How much accuracy do you have?
I had accuracy lead. I had like 120% accuracy. It's okay because I had 8 bombs on their heads anyways. So it didn't affect anything, but yeah.
When do you bring in Dover? I'm curious. You know, I geared up my Dover pretty nicely, inspired by you actually, but then never really used it for other things besides Guild Wars. I haven't used it in RTA. When do you bring it in? I think I seen you bring it in against like Ragdolls, right? In the past.
You gotta ask BerkBerk. BerkBerk is the bomber himself.
He's Libly bomber though. He's more of a Libly bomber.
I use Libly Malaka, but either way, it's the same thing. Whenever you can get a stripper in right before him.
No, but Fade uses it for specific purposes.
I never run it with a stripper.
Really?
Yeah.
When do you bring Dover?
I only seen you use it against like Ragdolls. Is there any other situations where you're like, oh, this is my Dover, pulling it in?
You don't know, BerkBerk. 300 speed Dover, 299 speed Sierra. Dude, come on, man.
I mean, as long as the enemy doesn't have any immunity buffer and you outslow them, then
it's special, the slow cleave. Right? It's either between Dover, the Helena, or the double will Beth. Double will shield Beth. It depends on what I feel like in that match, but
Faintmem Dover is a secret. Well, how good's your Dover, man? I'm gonna look at my stats right now. How is your Dover compared to mine? I want to improve mine as well. What's your stats in your Dover? Have you revealed it?
Which bombers you guys like more? Libly, Dover? Libly or Dover? Yeah,
Dover,
that's a great question.
Dover, 100%.
Dover, easy.
Dover's so good, dude.
But Libly just kills a unit. If you have the ruins, Libly just kills a unit.
Well, if you miss the bomb,
Libly could have like 800 extra attack.
All right, so Libly is better for like one-shot bomb teams, If you go into kill with that first bomb, then yeah, Liebly has the higher base attack, and he's easier. You can build more attack on him because he only needs 35 accuracy due to his bonus there. But assuming the game lasts beyond that initial blast, Dover is so much better because he brings so much more to the table, whereas Liebly is only the bomb.
But let's face it, if you're a bomber team and you're trying to live past that initial blast, you're already dead, right?
Oh, not if your Dover has 1500 defense.
Your Dover has
Yeah, it depends how you ruin
defense?
it.
If they have like
Damn
a
it.
little HP left, you can just whittle them down at the end.
Like what I'm trying to say is like I feel like Liebly's pretty underrated. Most people say Dover, but I think if you have the ruins, Liebly's the way to go.
I think Liebly's good for cleave, like it was stated.
Oh, really good.
Yeah, and then Dover's more of a longer battle, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Well, Liebly gets the bombs back faster, I guess.
That too.
Oh,
That
yeah,
too.
that's true. And it HP disturb along the way, right? So it's nice. The revenges, right?
Which always lands, by the way. I
If,
just want
if
to
he
say
gets
that.
targeted, that is.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, they can just leave for last.
But here's the thing, right? The enemy's gonna have a ragdoll. They're gonna hit your Dover, hit your Liebly. Your Liebly's gonna revenge. It's gonna crit. Then they're gonna get 50% attack.
Oh, and will never have the ragdoll. I ban the ragdoll a good 90% of the time. I
Liebly's
know,
also horrible.
I know some of you guys don't ban the ragdoll, but like with my comp, I ban the ragdoll.
Wait, what if you just don't have
Yeah.
crit rate on Liebly? Wait, does Liebly get more crit raters for some reason or something like that?
I mean, he gets 15% base anyway, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
mean, it
So,
doesn't have
like-
crit.
He's
Like,
also
again-
horrible against units like Camilla, for example. I can't tell you how many times I put bombs into Camilla, only have the Camilla use my Liebly to take the bomb off. Like, thanks a lot, Liebly. Dover. My
I'm Team
vote is with Dover.
Liebly. I like Liebly.
All right.
Like at least for arena, if you're
Cleave?
doing arena, I feel like Liebly is a lot better too.
Oh yeah, if you're doing like
the damage
regular
is
arena,
huge. Yeah,
you
yeah.
get
The
a
damage is
one-shot.
you can't argue. The damage is way higher
Yeah.
for Liebly
Yeah.
than Dover,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it hits
Or
touches
like
way
Guild
harder.
War. And I don't know, maybe it's just how I feel. I feel like both with 85% accuracy, Liebly usually lands his bomb more often. You cleave often, right, Berk? What do you feel like? Liebly just always lands his bomb. It's weird.
They land their bombs at the same rate. I think that's just a mental thing. But I mean, if they both have 85%, they're both gonna land 85%.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to get like, not to say
Sorry,
the least,
I
but
clicked
it's
away on
kind of hard to
accident.
get like Malacca or Dover 85% accuracy.
Yeah, that's true.
With all the other
Liebly-
stats you want.
Sorry.
If you're gonna one shot, Liebly is better in terms because of the higher base attack and because he's easier to build. It's just an RTA.
See, I never
Realistically,
heard.
it's not always a one shot.
I never heard Berk talk this much. Once we start talking about Liebly, Malacca, Dover, Berk is like, get out of the way. This is my podcast now. Let me talk.
One trick pony.
He
my
is in the
bad.
middle today, so yeah,
No, it's not your bad, man. You.
I like it.
It's
No,
just-
we like it. We like it.
Yeah.
All right. Very solid podcast today. Any last words you guys want to throw in to the podcast? But yeah, I think that's a wrap for today. Very, very solid. It went over a lot. Anything else to say?
Don't buy premium packs, right? Be patient with the game. Spend money only on the stuff that'll make you good for endgame, right? And then, yeah, enjoy it.
Embrace the RNG.
Embrace the RNG.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right. This game's a marathon, so don't be in a rush. I have to agree with that. Right.
I have
Just
no
gotta-
wisdom to share.
He has the words to share. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for today's podcast. I know making the time to come and hang out and talk about different topics. Really fun. If you guys are watching the YouTube channel, again, please make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that like, and we're going to put the links like the other podcasts. If you haven't checked the other podcast out, feel free to check them out. It's all in one playlist. As well as we always put the links to all of their Twitch streams on there as well. So you guys can check out when they stream. The nice thing about having so many different streamers and content creators, you can always try to hop into the Summoners War section on Twitch, and there's gonna be somebody streaming. You know what I mean? Which is really, really nice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast, and I'll see you later. Bye, YouTube. Peace
Thanks
out.
for having us.
Thank you.
Bye, YouTube.